get into this one right here. LeBron James going back to Cleveland. I'm going back to Cleveland. I'm going back to Cleveland. So that's the news on the wire. I seen this from a lot of channels talking about this. So I'm not going to say, a certain particular channel that said what, because everybody's talking about it. All the mainstream media, all YouTube sports channels is talking about this dumb, stupid story that makes no sense. And let's understand, this is not the first time we heard about this in the offseason. We've heard about this before. This ain't the first time. We heard last year LeBron was going to draft Bronny and go to Cleveland. And if I'm not mistaken, we done heard this in a few off seasons that LeBron James was going to go back to Cleveland. So, look, to me, it makes no sense at all. Well, I'll tell you why it would make sense and why it makes no sense at all. To me, it makes no sense at all because his career is over. I mean, people are touting LeBron James, and I keep saying this. We're talking about this guy like he's 5 years in, 10 years into his career. Listen, guys, 10 years in is out of your prime. It just is. Do we think Michael Jordan was still in his prime in his 10th season? No! Even though he didn't play his, in a way, 80, what would that be? 94, 95? He was out. But when Michael, this ought to tell you guys something right here. Michael Jordan came back out of his prime according to years. Right? Also, when Michael Jordan came back, he took time off. Almost 2 years off. Did he win after he played 18 games? No. But what I'm trying to say is, that will be his 11th season, even though we're not counting it as a playing season. We're talking about years going by in his age, per se, right? But Michael Jordan was still able to win a three-peat out of his prime. That's insane. Magic Johnson was winning those championships. He wasn't out of his prime. He came in the early 80s and won until 88. Michael Jordan was winning championships not only out of his prime, but kind of out of his prime, out of playing shape. Because still, we're yet to see this. This is what makes Michael Jordan so great. That he came back after a 2-year hiatus, right? And pulled off a three-peat when he was able to play a full season. Pull off a three-peat. And we're yet to see any guy take a year off, let alone 2 years off, and then win a three-peat. That's crazy. Just crazy. So let's get back into it. LeBron James is so far out of his damn prime and out of his mind. Is out. What is it? We just keep like the only reason why he's making any kind of money in this league, let's remember, this guy is just getting $50 million every year to show up and put up some stats with no impact. Remember how crazy this was? Listen to this. Throughout this season, they said LeBron James was the clutch player of the year. They said he was the MVP of the season. And they said he was defensive player of the year. So clutch player of the year, MVP, and defensive player of the year. This is what we heard this year. Wow. Hey, you can't make this up unless you're the media. This is insane. This is what this guy was at age 40. An MVP, a defensive player of the year, and the most clutch player of the year. This is what we heard. But when you look on the court, you see none of it. None of it. So why would he be going back to Cleveland in the first place? How would this make any kind of sense? His career is over. Look, guys are winning championships. He's not. Well, let's just say guys continue to win championships. He doesn't. Guys continue to win MVPs. He doesn't. Guys continue to put up statistical titles. He doesn't. Right? LeBron James, his career has turned into, if he just had this, the latter stages of his career, right? Especially in the 2020s. If he had this, if this player did this, if this coach would have played this style, this would have happened. If this guy would not have got hurt at this time, if LeBron James would have not have got hurt, this would have happened. This is what the 2020s has become for LeBron James. And for Michael Jordan, when he comes back, he just comes back. It's not, Michael Jordan should come back. If Michael Jordan came back, the NBA needs help. Michael Jordan. No, he just comes back. You haven't heard nobody debating before we heard Michael Jordan was going to be a special analyst or whatever on NBC. We never heard nothing before that. That Michael Jordan might come back and do this. Michael Jordan might come back and do it. If Michael Jordan came back and been this analyst. No! Michael Jordan just comes back. Michael Jordan don't play no games. For LeBron James, it's a guessing game. Oh, is he going to go to this team? Is he going to go to that team? If he don't get this player, he's going to go there. He's going to go to Cleveland. Like, just do it. Just do it. And this is what his 2020s career has been about. Just a whole bunch of talking, but no walking. Take your ass to Cleveland and do the damn thing. If not, why even talk about it? And again, the reason why they're talking about this is because the media has to talk about it because they are paid by Unclutch Sports. What a name, right? So I had to rename it Unclutch Sports because we know LeBron James basically owns this company, right? He just has it in, his homeboy's name. And I'm like, no, anything dealing with LeBron James is not clutch. Is not clutch. That's the wrong damn word to be, flaunting around with him. No, you don't use LeBron James and clutch. Don't use that in the same sentence. So therefore, we got to call it Unclutch Sports because his career has been full of unclutch moments, while other players come up clutch on his ass. That's basically it, right? So I mean, yeah, he's gonna go over there and play with those guys. He's gonna go over there, and why would he want to go back to Cleveland? No offense against Cleveland. I know they got beautiful parts and sections of Cleveland, but it's not L.A. It's not L.A. His wife ain't gonna drag her butt over back to Cleveland. No offense, and I think they might have a house over there if I'm not mistaken. But the fact that his career is over, this is what gets me. This is the media should be frowning on this. They should be clowning him on this, right? If we had real basketball media, they would have been laughing at this guy years ago. They would have been calling this guy a failure. But we don't have NBA media no more. We have the media. I heard them talk about LeBron James in the Pacers game versus the Cavs. I heard them talk about LeBron James in the OKC game against Denver. They always have to bring up he's not in the playoffs. It's the reason why he's not there no more. He wasn't good enough. You don't keep talking about a player who wasn't good enough to make it. He wasn't good enough. And besides that, I've already told you guys, LeBron James will never see another NBA Finals. Never. Because as long as he's a number one, he's going to have to take the responsibility for losing in the NBA Finals. So if he loses, that's 4-7. He don't want that on his record. What's more important? Another championship that ain't going to change nothing? 5-6? Or not going to the finals and coming back every year stealing $50 million? Of course. Coming back every year and stealing $50 million and then having the media say it was somebody else's fault, so it gives you another chance to come back and steal $50 more. 50 more million. Did I say $50? Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. It's a joke. And if it would come true, I wouldn't doubt it that he just leave Bronny on his own and let Bronny do the damn thing, because look, Bronny, I've already told you he's gonna be the. You think they just drafted this guy for no reason? Bronny already has a following. This guy can score 2 points and the media will blow it up. If he went 1 for 1, they'll say, yeah, Bronny shot 100% tonight. They won't talk about the 5 turnovers he had. Nope. Or if Bronny scored 10 points on 20% shooting, they'll say, yeah, man, Bronny had 10 clutch points. I mean, what are we talking about, man? What are we? I mean, this is it. Look, I'm trying to be nice here, but I'm trying to be realistic at the same time. Okay, now this would be some kind of a hell of a story. You know, LeBron James saying, you know, I'm back. You know, he put out something in Cleveland the same year Michael Jordan says he's back, right? Oh goodness. You know, they have to find something, because it's really not acceptable that LeBron James really comes back and plays again. It's not acceptable. And they really got to find something to make it acceptable. And, you know, the first part they started with was the whole, let me see, the whole Luka blame. So check this out. I've seen this on social media. So the Lakers want to bring in Lauri Markkanen. I think this is his name. Lauri Markkanen. And who is this? Damn, why does this light go off? I'm crazy. And Walker Kessler. Walker? Welker? Let me make sure that's right. That's what it says. Walker Kessler and I think Lauri Markkanen. They want to bring them in from the Jazz, which they would trade Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Now, I don't know who this other guy is. Let me see. I never heard of him. The Walker Kessler? What the hell is he? Give me 1 second here. I want to see what position he plays. So he plays. Don't damn say. Maybe it don't say because it's a damn positionless game. I don't know, man. He ain't got no damn credentials anyways. He's 7 foot. I don't know. So that would be a center position, right? If he's 7 foot. I don't know, man. So what does that mean? You're going to bring in 2 big men? Where does that leave LeBron James? This is what I don't get. They're trying to make this a big man game all of a sudden. They're trying. That's what the Lakers are saying. They said, "Oh man, we lost in the playoffs because we had no bigs." It didn't even play Hayes. I don't understand that. Hey, what did Hayes say to JJ Redick? Because they didn't play Hayes. They had another goofball that they didn't play neither. It didn't matter if they were good or not. You needed somebody in the paint to clog it up. But because LeBron James can't shoot, they need more shooters out there. Don't let the media deceive you. Why they had all of those small guys out there, they needed another shooter because LeBron James can't shoot. Yeah, he get lucky, hit a couple shots here and there. He's a damn NBA player. But consistently? No. Or what he'll do is he'll go on this consistent streak. And then when the fourth quarter comes, there goes. Mr. Consistent doesn't show up. It just fades away. No more consistent. So if that's true, if they're trying to work this deal, it's dumb. It's dumb. And you would keep LeBron James? Oh my goodness, man. I just don't even know. So you're going to get rid of shooters? Hachimura is a better shooter than LeBron James. And you will get rid of Austin Reeves, this second best shooter on the team? So you're doing this to get bigs. So when did this league turn into a league of big men? See, this don't make no sense. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to get those Rui out of there and Reeves so they can get Bronny playing. I'm trying to tell you. Yep. Whether LeBron James comes back and plays next year, either way, to get these guys right here, and you're getting rid of Rui and you're getting rid of Austin Reeves, you're trying to get Bronny out there on that court. Y'all can mark my words for it. I'm trying to tell you already. They did not bring Bronny in for nothing. Bronny will be playing, and it will be games to where they say that Bronny led the Lakers and led Luka to a win. Bronny led Luka to a win. Bronny played the defense that Luka couldn't play. We told you Bronny was a 3-and-D guy. Don't worry. Once they turn on that magnet, you're gonna see some issues. You're like, what the hell? dude gonna be hitting all kind of shots. Because they just gonna tell him pretty much, stay on the perimeter. Stay on the perimeter. In the game, you know, we seeing this too. The game is getting softer. It's getting easier. And Bronny's gonna be able to get stronger. So let's see what happens with, I mean, how many more trades can they get? How many more trades can they get? Just trade after trade after trade after trade? Goodness God. So yeah, this don't make no sense. I don't believe he's going back to Cleveland. Just something to talk about. I wouldn't be surprised if Clutch put some, you know, money in those players' hands that play for Cleveland to piss their pants, stink it up, and go nowhere near a championship, because that will make LeBron James look really bad. Now check it out. Some people are saying, oh yeah, he's going to jump on a bandwagon of Donovan Micheal and, you know, the defensive player of the year that they got in Cleveland, Darius Garland, you know, these type of guys. This is a 3-and-D group right here. The Cavs, I don't know what the hell happened in the Pacers series. It was weird. Like I said, Clutch could have, you know, slipped some money. Who knows? Nevertheless, it's a 3-and-D type of team. LeBron James really doesn't fit in that system, right? So I just don't see him going. I don't see him going to Cleveland. But some people say, oh, he's just going to jump on their back for one ring and get out of Cleveland, right? And I won't doubt it. LeBron James' history, especially when we started in Miami, he's always got the look. Kyrie, what do you want to say? He was a top 3 point guard. Well, let's start with Wade, right? If we start with Wade and we go to Miami, right? We can say that Wade, right then and there, was a top 2 shooting guard in the league, because we know he went better than Kobe Bryant. And we'll say Chris Bosh. What is Chris Bosh playing? Is it small forward, power forward, whatever? We'll just say at his position. My God, this is 2011, man. We're talking about Kevin Garnett was finished. On the way out, you know, we could say, you know, Tim Duncan, you know, he played power forward or whatever like that, and we would say he was on his last leg as far as greatness. He can still give you spurts of greatness, but as a two-way player, he just, you know, even though they made it to the final back season, but I'm talking about way out of his prime. So to me, Chris Bosh, well, he was a center power forward, right? Hold on, let me just make sure, because I want to be sure. I want to do the rankings, right? Chris, what the hell did I hit? Bosh. Chris Bosh. He was okay. Yeah, okay. He was a power forward center. Well, that's pretty much what a lot of times power forwards became, right? In the you know, 2000s, 2010s, there really wasn't no real centers left no more like that. So, you know, you could go from power forward to center, right, for the most part. So to me, Chris Bosh at his position, easily top 5. So LeBron James, position-wise in Miami, had the second best shooting guard when he first got there in 2011 in a top 5 power forward center. So we go to Cleveland and we look at Kyrie, and it's hard really to rank where Kyrie is. He just came in, you know, but he did some good things already by the time LeBron James came there. So we would say Kyrie, I would say top 4. Some people say, you know, John Wall. John Wall was a he was a point guard. I don't know, man. John Wall is always damn hurt. We'll just say Kyrie was top 3 guard when he played with LeBron James. You know, we could say even he went up as high as 1 in 2016, 17, whatever. But we say he's a top 3 point guard. And then when we say Kevin Love, we would say before, you know, LeBron James, he was at his position, you know, we're talking about 2015, man. Or, you know, the whole time, you know, he didn't play with LeBron James. He had to be top 3, right? He got to be top 3, top 4. So if you want to say top 5, so LeBron James had a top 5 power forward center and a top 3, 4 point guard on his team in Cleveland. So when we fast forward all the way to the Lakers, which ain't too far from his second stint in Cleveland, it's just in 2020, LeBron James, in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong, at that point, Anthony Davis was the best power forward center in the game. This was at that point. I know Joker was in the game again, and we always talk about who the hell is Joker? Nobody never heard this guy, and he came in 14. Everybody heard about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was, dominant. He wasn't leading his team anywhere because he played for a bad team, but everybody knew about Anthony Davis. He was winning statistical titles, and I think he won All-Star MVP one year. And to me, he up to that point, he was the best power forward center in the league. So now LeBron James, because I think he won his first MVP in what was it, 2021? So I will give it to him since then. 2021, he's been the best center, right? But LeBron James got the best center in the league at the time when he came over to New York. Best power forward center, whatever position he wants to play. So, and now, he has Luka. The best point guard in the league. And the second best player. Because remember, guys, I wasn't ranking based on players as far as the best, 1 through 10. And I was ranking best at their position. Now, LeBron has the best point guard and the second best player in the league. Wow. You can't even make this up, folks. This guy continues to play with top 5 players at their positions. Michael Jordan did that one time. Scottie Pippen was a top 3 to 5. Well, it depends. For me, it fluctuates. Just because I say Scottie Pippen was the best at his position in a certain year, he didn't continue to be the best at his position every year. I just don't believe it. So I would say Michael Jordan played with, Scottie Pippen, who was the best at his position. I would say 1 through 4, you could even say 3, depending on what year. Okay? As far as player in the league, and we can even go back to a player in the league for Anthony Davis, too. We can go back to that. But we'll just leave that alone. But as far as best, his position as player in the league for Scottie Pippen, I don't know, man. It is hard for me to say when you're not actually, you never led a team. You never led a team. I mean, we look at some players like, Karl Malone, John Stockton, right? And to me, they made each other great. If you took one of them off, I don't know, man. One of them just might be a Hall of Famer, or both of them might just be Hall of Famers. I'm serious. And that's not, a Hall of Famer is great, but I don't think they become a top 75 players. Top 75 is huge. Top 25 was huge. Top 50 was huge. Of all the players that ever played in the league, you're a top 25, you're a top 50, you're a top 75. That's big time talk right there, guys. It's big time talk. So, I don't know, man. But they end up being great. And let's get back to Scottie Pippen. To me, he wasn't better than Patrick Ewing in the 90s. He wasn't better than David Robinson. He wasn't better than Ewing. He wasn't better than Barkley. He wasn't better than Hakeem. He wasn't better than Clyde Drexler. He wasn't better than Reggie Miller. To me, it's hard for me to say he was better than Gary Payton. Who else? We'll just leave it at those guys. So, where do you want to rank him in the league? He's not a top 5 player. He's never led a team. I mean, you want me to say he was better than Alonzo Mourning? Alonzo Mourning was putting up, 20 and 12 in 3 blocks. I mean, like, what do you want from me, though? Are you serious? Better than Alonzo Mourning? And Alonzo Mourning had a battle. Other great big men. Remember, he came in the same draft as Shaquille O'Neal. Scottie Pippen ain't better than Shaquille O'Neal in the 90s. For the two years, a few years, Penny Hardaway was healthy. He wasn't better than Penny Hardaway. Scottie Pippen, he wasn't. Yeah, this is Penny Hardaway, man. This guy had his own commercial with a damn puppet. Scottie Pippen didn't have his own damn commercial. Y'all gotta stop, man. I mean, come on, man. Y'all trying to rewrite history. Michael Jordan didn't play with a guy that had his own commercial. This was Penny Hardaway. People didn't look at Pippen like that. People looked at Pippen like he was a damn sidekick. That's it. Great sidekick. That's it. Penny Hardaway was playing with Shaq, and he still got his own commercial. Oh my goodness, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? This is why we say the LeBron James fans are idiots when they say anything about the 90s. Scottie Pippen was not famous like that. Shawn Kemp was famous like that. Now, I ain't trying to say that, overall, Shawn Kemp was better than Scottie Pippen, but when we're talking about fame, it was Shawn Kemp who was more famous than Scottie Pippen. Y'all got to stop, man. So, this is another thing with Michael Jordan. He won with less. These people are trying to tell me, after we did that Walt Clyde Frazier, we just said a little bit of it. I heard Sports and Fitness Friends did a whole video on it. I think, because the first guy I seen it from was Too Raw, right? I didn't get too deep into it, but Sports and Fitness Friends, go check that video. I mean, he cooked them. He burned them. He torched them. And, it's just unfortunate that the way we have to defend Michael Jordan and kind of like tear down past greats, it's crazy. Because we don't want to do that. Sports and Fitness Friends don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. A lot of guys don't want to do that. But we got to put proper context into things, right? And put people in their places. Because when we start getting people out of their places, as far as what they accomplished, what they did in their competition, then we're dealing with LeBron James. We're just making up nonsense. Okay? Nobody cares about... So when we talk about the competition, LeBron James' competition is what he made it. He didn't want to compete, so he started building super teams. So either he lost against teams without super teams, teams that built through the draft and made their teammates better, something he's touted always doing, but it has never done. You can't make number 1 overall draft picks. You can't make other teams' number 1 franchise players better. Guys that was already leading a team, you can't make them better. They were already better. That's why they were the leaders of their team. They were the number 1 franchise players of their team. You can't make them better. That's what the media has been trying to convince you of all these years. Because they won a championship together. No. Like I said, when we're dealing with something like that, LeBron James never led. When you're on a super team like that and you go build it like that, you never led a team to a championship. All you guys led each other to a championship. It was a group effort. Right? Dwayne Wade didn't lead by himself. Chris Bosh didn't lead by himself. LeBron James didn't lead by himself because there's no leaders. I don't give a damn who they gave the finals MVP to. Hell, they gave the finals MVP to what's his name? From the Warriors in 2015. That don't mean he's the leader of the team. Iggy, whatever name, Iguodala, Iggy. That don't mean he's the leader of the team. Right? Was Durant the leader of the team in 17, 18? No. Was James Worthy the leader of the team? No. Cornbread Maxwell, was he the leader of the... No. But, I'm not trying to compare it to where they built super teams, but I'm just trying to say, when you come together, like LeBron James did on his super team, there's no leaders of that team. They're all other teams' number 1 franchise players. In it. We already did this, right? So, when Barkley, Hakeem, and Clyde came together, what happened? They all were other teams' number 1 franchise players. They were all leaders of another team that came together. So if they would have won a championship, there was nobody to lead. There's no leader. There was no leader. Nobody led. They were busted up, old, and broke. And that was their last hope. Okay, same thing with Boston. Even though they won one, you saw what came out of that. One championship in like 6 years because they was old, busted up, and broke. And there was no leader that led that team to a championship. When we think about that Boston team, what do we think about? The whole collection of guys. We don't think of one guy who led. Nope. That's just how it is, man. So, LeBron James, he's not a leader. He's never been a leader. And here he is once again trying to run to, I don't know why he would try to run to Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is a choke artist. All these guys are injury prone. Who's going to step up to the plate? LeBron James gets injured. Darius Garland gets injured. You know, Donovan Mitchell gets injured. What's going to be an excuse? Field-ridden playoffs for these guys if they get together? They're always hurt. Donovan Mitchell ain't no damn leader. He's just out there playing basketball. He ain't no leader. Their coach don't even look like a coach. Dude look like he stay up smoking cigarettes all night or something. He looks stressed out. He looks crazy looking. A lot of these coaches out here looking crazy. The Mazzulas, the Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau, he looks like a, oh my God, I can't even say it. I'm going to say some crazy stuff like but the worst and best thing I can say on YouTube, even though I ain't even monetized, they might really try to hit me if I say that. But, oh my God, he looks like he's sleepwalking on the court. He looks like he's sleepwalking on it. He looks weird, like he's stuffed, like he ain't even a real person, like he's dead. I can't, man. I just, these NBA coaches are a joke. And you guys already know I don't call them real coaches. They're just guys, you know, standing around acting like they're really, you know, some of my subs call them game managers. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they really are. They're just game managers. Because these guys, these coaches don't run no teams. They don't run no teams. So I don't know, man. I just, you know, I get into one thing and I start talking about 300 things because I just get so heated and animated and, you know, just disgusted and, you know, scratching my head about some of these things. And, you know, I just don't know, man. And again, when we go back to the Walt Clyde Frazier thing, this guy needing a paycheck from Clutch Sports to, you know, say what he said. And the same argument is the same thing LeBron James fans been saying for a long time. Same thing. Same thing. I mean, check this out. Think about this for a minute. Remember I told you that Anthony Davis is the best, well, what was the best center at the time when LeBron James got him, right? So, with that being said, that was 1920, right? So, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, how many championships should they have won? And sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, well, if LeBron James had any kind of post game, this would have been easy to win championships. You put LeBron James on one block and you put Anthony Davis on the other block. And if anybody try to stop him, you kick it out. And then you got your shooters. You got 3 shooters out there. And then you got LeBron James or Anthony Davis rebounding each other's shot or yada, yada, yada. And if LeBron James played any damn defense, a big, strong dude like that, Anthony Davis and LeBron James playing defense out there. Look, guys, they should at least won 3 championships in this era. Easily. And it took them a bubble to win a championship when everybody was sick and dying. They should have won it in 2021, 2022, 2023, I don't care. You literally got the best or the second best center. And what I'm trying to say is not just Anthony Davis playing like you've been seeing him play, because Anthony Davis didn't come to the damn Lakers playing like he's been playing the last 3 years. Anthony Davis was a monster before he came to the Lakers. Was a monster. So his game should have kept elevating or stayed the same, being monster, you know, status player. and then pick up some good role players, and you're good to go. How did LeBron James screw that up? I don't understand. Michael Jordan won 3 championships with Scottie Pippen. And we told you over and over where he ranks. If you want to say Dennis Rodman. Look, Dennis Rodman was a great rebounder, great defender. You want to see a great rebounder and a great defender? Go look at Dwight Howard and look at his resume. Like 3-4 rebound titles, like 3-4 block titles. I want to say 4 or 5 all NBA first teams, a second team, the defensive teams, and I think 4 defensive players of the year. That's also a good to great defender. They can give you more points than Dennis Rodman. What I'm trying to say, Michael Jordan never had that. He never had Dwight Howard. Y'all trying to act like Dennis Rodman was more than what he was. He wasn't a top, listen guys, he wasn't a top 20 player in the NBA in the 90s. And at his position, the forward position. Forward, small forward, power forward. I don't know, man. Shush. Damn sure ain't no top 10. I'm going to just say that off top without even trying to go through all the names. To me, he wasn't even top 10. He was a great role player. Top 75. For sure. Because the contributions he had towards the rings made him top 75. Now, let's take rings away. Like Patrick Ewing, like Charles Barkley, like Karl Malone, like John Stockton. And let's just look at the resume of Dennis Rodman with just rebounds and good defense. Borderline Hall of Famer. I mean, I would put him in the Hall of Fame. He's not a top 75 player. So you get what I'm saying? The championships put him in the Hall of Fame because he made contributions with the team, but he wasn't the team's first, second, third. You know, on Detroit, he wasn't even, it's hard to say, man. He might have been number 6 at times. So he was in the starting lineup. So I would give him, whenever he starts starting, I'll say he would be the 5th most valuable player. That's what I would say. If people say, oh man, a great rebounder, great defender. He was. He was one of the best. We act like guys back in the day too. They were scorers, defenders, and they were great rebounders for their position. So it's not like the 2020s where you guys just chucking up threes or one-way players. Oh man, look at Luka. Look at Jason Tatum. Look at Curry. Look at Durant. Look at Anthony Edwards. Look at Booker. These are one-way players that never made one defensive team. Or to me, never even came close. And when you see the names that made it over them, it's mind-blowing. It's like, who? Versus when you go look back in the 80s and 90s, and you see great players who were offensive players, more offensive-minded, that didn't make a defensive team, and you go look at the players that did make those defensive teams over them, you say, oh, okay, whoo, they're some of the greatest defenders of all time. That's what you would say. But when you look at the guys that make the defensive team in the 2020s over the so-called superstar players that don't, you say, well, who the hell are these guys making the defensive teams? I'm just saying. Man, the NBA, guys, I don't think we'll never see any like consistent greatness in the NBA no more. It's always going to be an asterisk on a series, on a team's run through the playoffs. All this time, it's always going to be some type of asterisk. I don't think we ever it just won't be no greatness no more like that. Rivalries, players being held accountable for dribbling right. A player averaging, 35, 38, 40 points in a series. Good teams playing each other. A 1 and a 2 playing each other in the finals. I mean, like, what? We don't want to see no 1 in the play-in team playing each other. What kind of garbage is that? And, now that gambling is legal, we'll probably never see any greatness again now, because it's more about, all the hiccups and some ish happening, because people are going to bet on common sense. Nobody's going to bet on a 1 playing an 8 or a 1 playing a play-in. That's not going to be their initial pick when it starts. Nobody's going to pick the Knicks to beat the Boston Celtics when it starts. Everybody put their money on Boston. Nobody's going to put their money on the Pacers to beat the Cavs. They keep trying to tell us all these scenarios on TV about what's going to happen. And the opposite always happens. In the NBA. Lakers at 5. So you got all these dummies betting on the Lakers. They lost in 5. So just look for the NBA to continue to be weird. And then when you start to think, because they don't want you to think, you're going to start to find out that it's weird because gambling is associated with it. That's why. Gambling is we might have seen some weird things back in the day. Not like this, folks. Not like this. Could you imagine? Even though gambling wasn't legal then, people were still gambling on it. But could you imagine that what was it, that 21-22 Lakers super team didn't even make the play-in? I'm trying to tell you, man, it's just a lot of weird stuff going on in the LeBron James era. So let me get off of here. If I talk another 20 more minutes and get frustrated, because I'm not happy. And I'm so sick of hearing about this dude. There's nothing interesting about LeBron James. When it comes to sports, what's interesting about a great player, as far as them always touting him as this, as that, he's a winner. He's a leader. He's great at his craft. He's maybe maybe the greatest scorer, maybe the greatest facilitator, maybe the greatest rebounder, maybe the greatest winner. He's nothing. He's nothing, and he never has been. When you look at how his career just plays out. Could you ever imagine LeBron James leading a team? Who cares what the media says? But just think about him as a person, as a man. His whole career is media driven. It's told to you by the media. The dude ain't a man in the first place. So how could he lead men? So I'm going to just say this right now. Again, if Joker don't give me 30 tonight at least, and they lose, this is on Joker. Because they keep winning these games, and Joker put up a whole bunch of points. Or he keeps putting up a whole bunch of stats with his points, these triple doubles, and they lose. When his team don't put up a whole bunch of stats, right? His team don't put up a whole bunch of points. But when his team puts up a whole bunch of points and outscore him and out-rebound him and hit the clutch shots, they win. Nevertheless, I don't care how it happens, the combination, he better not put up no less than 30 and they lose. If he puts up 25, 10 and 10, or 22, 10 and 10, and they lose, I don't want to hear it. This is an elimination game. I don't care if he shot 53% and he scored, 22 or 25. Nope. No, sir. He better put up 30 points in the elimination. And, this is going to be the same thing with SGA in the elimination game in Game 7. If they go to a Game 7, boy, both of these dudes got something coming. Whether it ends tonight or it ends tomorrow or Game 7. I'm just saying. Tell me what you think.